How's it going, fuckers? It's been a while. I haven't done one of these in a week, I think. Not since I talked to Mark, which is it was a while ago. But I had fun doing that, and I got the piece for my Zoom podcast. Fucking doohickey over here, in the mail. Like I can literally today, if I wanted to, call Mark back up, and I'll be able to actually run the program through the board, which would be nice. As opposed to just recording the phone with a microphone like a fucking strunz. But yeah, this is we're moving pretty good clip here with Blacktooth. Pretty excited about the episodes we're putting out, and just happy that people are actually listening, and we're able to keep putting content out on the cheap, at least for the time being. So I'm looking forward to all the shit we have coming on that channel. But, let's fucking get off Blacktooth. I got my own thing over here, and I'm going to fucking do it. So, without further fucking ado... Wait, no, that's the wrong part. We're already... It's been a while since I fucking did one of these. It's been a while since I did one of these by my fucking self. I haven't, I haven't done one of these in a hot minute. It's kind of nice, though. I have... two pieces of business I'd like to discuss. One of which is the film that we're watching today, which is not going to be the film that I'm going to start off talking about. The film I'm going to start off talking about is The Many Saints of Newark, which, let me give one of those. Let me give you guys a little fucking... Like, the theme of this episode is going to be cash grabs. If you're not familiar with the expression cash grab... What a cash grab is a film that's made solely to make all the people involved with the production and, I guess like sale, anything to do with the film. It's made to make them money, but not create what you would call entertainment. It's not a valid attempt at creating something entertaining. It's the Mel Brooks's The Producers, that kind of mentality. You're making something for the sole purpose of it tanking, but its existence means that somewhere someone is insured a paycheck, and Adam Sandler is almost guaranteed a vacation to an exotic location. That's like it's a cash grab. It's what it is. Now, I am going to be watching an Adam Sandler film today, but the cash grab that I actually would like to discuss, I'm going to do the old bait and switch here. The cash grab that I'd like to discuss is The Many Saints of Newark. I'm not going to even try and contextualize this film for you guys. It's way too fucking hard. This movie it operates on two different levels. If you're a fan of The Sopranos, like me, you're like a casual fan. Like I would consider myself on like the heavy end of the casual fandom. Like I've seen this series twice now. I very much enjoy it. I think the characters are well developed. I think that the series itself is a very interesting and emotionally and like almost overwhelming, but it's a very emotionally translatable thing where you have this like tough gangster that also is like a family member. It would be like a warlord that has a soft side or something. No matter how you need it in, like the Tony Soprano as an anti-hero is its own thing. So that show went off the air in what, like a decade ago, more than that, like 2008, I think, 2007. I was in high school, I think, not college. But anyway, yeah, so The Sopranos was dead. It was put dead in the water. Haven't seen anything or heard anything about it. It's Gandolfini died, but that's about it. So nothing to do with The Sopranos for the last 10 years. And all of a sudden, start hearing rumors about this movie getting made by HBO Max, where it's going to be the prequel or like an origin story for The Sopranos. Now, here's the thing about origin stories. And also, I'm just going to throw this out there right now. I'm not going to try and retread what Anthony Cumia did, because Anthony Cumia has by far the best breakdown of this film. I'll put a link in the fucking description if I can remember to do it. And on Compound Media, talking about The Many Saints of Newark, he does a great job. This film is a cash grab, and like I'm just going to come out and say it. It's not that it's a bad movie. Like I for what it was worth, enjoyed my little Joey heart out watching this film. It was interesting to kind of see a little bit of a backstory on like why Tony's so fucked up and the shit he was exposed to, and just the general state of like Newark and where he lived during like his youth and upbringing. And you get to see this just very like, like the quality of life is not poor, but it's impoverished, except there's like this fleeting like glimpse of like, like surpassing that if you affiliate with your like family members in a certain way. But it's like, it's more like rudimentary. And I think that is the strongest thing that's conveyed throughout the movie. But other than that, like the film just, there's like you could take it as mindless entertainment. And if you take it as mindless entertainment, then just accept that it's mindless entertainment. And I don't mind doing that. I don't mind one bit. But if you're going to sit there and try and argue that this isn't a cash grab of a film, then you got fucking rocks in your head. They tried to fucking pull the old masala trick. Indian filmmakers have been trying to do this shit for eons because they know that like their market is very niche, but their country is very large, and it really spreads everybody out. So they make what's called masala films, which are these movies that have a little bit of everything. It's like the equivalent of like a variety show. And they're like 4 hours long because people probably had to travel really fucking far and wanted to get the most bang for their buck to go see these movies. So they made these things called masala films. Masala is just like a word for like everything in one film. This felt like a masala film. It felt like somebody was trying to take every like little bit of like throwaway soprano, like, yeah, I'm not going to get into doing Anthony's material. I already feel bad enough we were doing Come Town on Blacktooth the other day. But like Anthony was pointing out that it was like Rich Evans seeing an AT-AT. It's like literally like every little bit of fan service you could want, you get. And I'm not gonna say it's good, but you get it. And it's done in a way where it's just kind of like wallpaper, like it's just kind of something there for you to oogle at, and it's not really there to like explain the story. You're just kind of like, oh, that's Syl. Oh, Paulie Walnuts is getting a manicure. Just whatever. It is what it is. It just feels like a cash grab. And I'm not even going to get into the fucking Frank Lucas thing. They're clearly setting it up for a fucking series, and it's going to involve Frank Lucas heavily. Apparently, because of fucking some heroin kingpin from Harlem, Tony Soprano that's how he got his power. How he got the power. The Soprano family is entirely indebted and in the palm of Frank Lucas's empire. That was that's exactly what I wanted to see when I went to go see the fucking Sopranos movie, is a retelling of Frank Lucas's fucking story that had nothing to do with it on the show. You just wanted to shove a black guy in there. Just say it. You wanted to make the fucking Black Sopranos, make the Frank Lucas story. Why does it have to be the Sopranos? It just feels like you're capitalizing on that people will see this movie and they feel they have white guilt. And all those times you said the N-word on the Sopranos, it's like, this is your penance. Get fucking screwed. So I'm going to get off the fucking like racial shit. I'm going to get to the actual nuts and bolts of this today. The film I'm watching is the racial shit. It wasn't racial shit. I was talking about the Many Saints of Newark. But the film I'm watching today is not a cash grab, but it's made by a notorious cash grab artist, Adam Sandler. I'm watching an underrated film of his called That's My Boy. I wanted to watch something funny, and this is not one of like Sandler's like heyday movies, like the late 90s, early 2000s, where he was making like Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, Little Nicky, like those films. Fucking Anger Management, like the bulk of his good movies. This was one that happened around like the mid 2000s, late 2000s. It has Andy Samberg in it. It's called That's My Boy. And I do believe that it's a cash grab movie that inadvertently became an actually funny movie because somewhere along, and I really want to do a deep dive on this, and I want to figure out where everything went so wrong on this film that it went right. And I'll see you guys on the other side with this one, but this is one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies, and it's so underrated. And even like Red Letter Media, who for the most part I enjoy their 2 cents on things, they don't like this movie. Not a lot of reviewers online like this movie, but this is like probably the funniest Adam Sandler movie there is. So without further ado, we're watching That's My Boy. That's My Boy. What a fucking good movie. Let's give it one of these. Yeah, I never thought there'd be a fucking day where I would be talking about the merits of an Adam Sandler movie versus the demerits of a Sopranos-inspired film. That's, I guess, how I'm going to start referring to that, as a Sopranos-inspired film. Yeah, like, Let's start with the nuts and bolts of That's My Boy, because I don't really want to get back into The Sopranos. It's just like one of those things where I didn't fucking like. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as a mindless movie. As a mindless movie, it was entertaining. If it was disconnected from The Sopranos and this was its own thing, I probably would have enjoyed it more. But it just felt like they were cramming way too much shit into this film, and it clearly is going to be a setup for a spinoff. And they just put a fucking Frank Lucas story in there for no reason. And I'm over it. So that's my final thought on that, and we're gonna move on. But I want to follow the theme of something mindless. Something mindless is like, when it comes to film, is like it's good. It's kind of like the sorbet between a meal between courses. You're like, you need to not just take everything so seriously. And I mean, you can, for the most part, like, keep seeing films that are consistent, like, with themes or marathon a series or anything, but you will get burnt out if you try to do that. And I want to cleanse my palate a little bit, because I got Dune coming up, and then I got No Time to Die. I'm gonna plan on seeing those. And I'm pretty excited about seeing both those, if I do say so myself. There's some other shit going on too. I want to go see the Card Counter movie, the one that was written by the guy that wrote Taxi Driver. Yeah, I'm pretty psyched. There's some good fucking shit circulating around these parts. Yeah, like, I wanted to watch something that I really enjoyed, but for like also up the the vein of mindlessness, like something that's mindless. So I chose comedy, but I wanted to pick this film specifically because of I mean, it has a certain lack of reputation. Its reputation absolutely does not precede it. It's most certainly like a completely disregarded Adam Sandler film. Like, most of the time when I bring this film up, most people are like, "I'm sorry, who? Like, what movie is that?" I don't think it's a Happy Madison production. But it has a lot of the Happy Madison people in it, and I think that's just like Sandler's camp. Like, every actor has a writer, or whatever the fuck they're called, writer, whatever the fuck it is, where it's like all the stuff that an actor requires to like do like the movie, from like what they need in general to like what they need on a day-to-day basis, like in their trailers and on set and shit. And like, I think like having that Peter Dante guy and Nick Swardson and like some other fucking people from SNL are part of his. So you get some cameos in this, but it's cameos by people that like Todd Bridges and fucking Vanilla Ice show up, just because this film, it wasn't written and directed by Adam Sandler. It was written and directed by two different people, but Adam Sandler did help produce it. Something that I learned while watching this is that it actually does take place like in Cape Cod, I believe. There's like a car like a fast, like, not a chase, but like a car like a steeplechase sequence with a car that I think is in Cape Cod, and I'd never realized that might actually be. Oh, wait a minute! I actually have the opportunity to do something I never got to do yet while doing a podcast. So bear with me 1 second, folks. Hell yeah. That's the first time I ever got to squeeze a fart out on mic. I've been meaning to have something to squeeze out when I talk to Jake, but I always forget to fucking do it. Like eat beans and shit the night before. So yeah, you guys got to just witness that. Not that anybody fucking listens to this shit, but I got we got podcasting history being made right here. But anyway, Yeah, like they had they actually, I think, went all out on like going to this, despite it not being like a Happy Madison, which are notorious for what people accuse Adam Sandler of doing is basically like people say it's money laundering, but I think it's just like he uses the company he has to basically create very expensive vacations for himself, where he just like wanted to go to Aruba one year, so he decided that he was going to film a movie there, or like a movie whose principal photography was going to take place there, so he'd get to be on set for like 3 fucking months, like just in Aruba, like having a vacation with his family, and it's like, oh, daddy's got to go act. But because he runs the production company, he chooses these things and like makes these things happen, and he just basically wants to get paid to go on vacation, which is understandable. If you're in that position, I absolutely would be doing the fucking same thing and having fun at what I do. But yeah, like this is one of those ones where it doesn't seem like that's the case. Like they actually like shelled out to go like somewhere that either looks very similar to Cape Cod or Cape Cod, and like, you know, I don't know, it was something I noticed. And I was like, oh, goddamn, like it's pretty cool. I know the hotel that was a set, but you know, Copley Plaza in Boston. It's like I know the name from all the Boondock Saints, but it's a well regarded hotel. They took their time with this one. They took their time. But yeah, like let's so. Some of the stuff I liked about this film, it was consistent. A lot of Adam Sandler movies just kind of go like this film came in a box set with 2 other movies. One of which is the one where I forget what the fuck it's called, but it's where he's pretending to be his twin as well, or is his twin, and yeah, Adam Sandler's just acting against himself, and it's like he visibly does not care. And then you got like Click, like films like that, where it's just like visibly just him doing whatever the fuck he needs to do to write himself another check and does not care. Whereas this, he's doing a very cheesy accent, and he's doing a very over the top caricature of like a burnt out like 80s dude, like a dude that like peaked in high school in the 80s. He does a really over the top version of that, but he is consistent, and it's like kind of his personality is that he's like just like an outgoing, kind of like friendly, but like kind of stupid dude. And it never deviates from that. You never like, and it's not that you like can't feel any emotions aside from that either. Because like towards the end, it does get quite touching. Upon rewatching this and like watching it in kind of like a critical lens, like Sandler actually like does not really let anything down. Like he genuinely conveys the emotions that he's trying to get across with the scenes where he's bummed out about like fucking up the relationship with his son towards the end. And I was like, you know, kind of taken aback for a second. I was like, man, like he actually like gave a shit on this. It wasn't like that Uncut Jewels or Uncut Gems fucking movie he did where, yeah, I don't know, like the whatever acting he was trying to do right there, it was just weird and different. So people, I think, were kind of receptive to that just because it was like off the beaten path. It's like they've never fucking seen an art house film, but because Adam Sandler's familiar to them, the Safdie brothers can just kind of like get away with fucking making a movie that's bizarre and doesn't really make much sense. But you know, fuck it, like well, Sandler's in it, so I like that. I recognize things. And that's really all it is. But no, A24 slapped the fucking logo on it, so go figure. Well, what can you do, Joe Rogan? This is going fucking great. But no, I'm gonna go back to this movie because I did enjoy this movie. This movie is really fucking good. I like it because of the consistency. You don't get Sandler trying to like do one thing. Like the reason he's good in films like The Waterboy and Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore is because he's the consistency of the character. It's like the same person throughout. Now the character might learn things. Like it is, after all, like all these stories for the most part are the hero's journey. Like you can go back to Joseph Campbell and like fucking see that shit. You know, it starts in the place that it kind of ends and ends in the place it kind of starts, and like like there's a little bit of like parallels that you can draw from that. I wouldn't say it's outright, but like you could, I'm sure if you want to be more intellectual about it, you could compare it to that. I bring this up and then never elaborate on it all the fucking time too, so fucking call me a dipshit or whatever, but he does kind of, most of his characters do take the hero's journey, and although they might learn something or might learn, like evoke something else out of themselves or other people, you get this kind of like sense of catharsis, and that's all I was trying to get at with that. The reason those characters work is because they're fun. You pretty much are like just kind of a fly on the wall, like all of his other films for this. It's not supposed to be like incredibly introspective, but I do find at points that this film does elevate from like because it starts with a very baseline raunchy comedy. Like that's all it is a raunchy comedy, and like a very like dumb raunchy comedy. But when it does like these moments of like levity that are like kind like not like just that raunch, like they're either like charming or kind of endearing or like outright like emotional. It's like a break from it, and it kind of like has pulled the reversal of like your conventional romantic comedy where it's like everything is kind of backwards, but I like that, and I really like the way that this like unconventional approach is like I hate to use it, like, you know, it subverts your expectations, but it doesn't just like subvert your expectations. It just like throws things at you and like does not let up in a way where you are kind of like almost saved by these moments of like, you know, run of the mill rom-com. Like for example, there's like this like kind of in the middle of the movie, right after the bachelor party, or I guess during the bachelor party or right before it, something. There's a part, yeah, no, it's like right after the bachelor party. Adam Sandler's making everybody pancakes. Oh, and I guess I should also say that you know, I do like that it's very Boston centric. Like this was probably written by dudes from Boston or people that kind of are familiar. But and like I know Sandler is typically kind of associated with New York. It was fun to kind of see him like, you know, do like I'm sure it was fun for him to do this caricature, and it like that is conveyed throughout too. That it seems like everybody's having a good time with this film. Like there's no fucking way you could get away with trying to do this in like a deadpan or like if you were trying to, you know, paint this as a rom-com. There's like fucking incest in it at the end. Like there's no fucking way that would fly. But I'm not saying it's smart, but it's well fucking written enough and acted capably enough by the people like to where you're like, this is cartoonish fun. And then the moments of realism are kind of nice. Like just the moment where Andy Samberg gives Adam Sandler the you know, the best man gift, and it's the oven mitt that like it's kind of like the tease, like they give you like the box and then or like he mentions it and then they give you the box, and then it's like kind of this like 3-beat like very well set up thing to kind of get that like heart wrench a little bit out of you. And I was like, yeah, I found myself going like I've seen this movie before, and I was like, oh, like it's fucking endearing. I enjoy that. I really do. Like, and for what it's worth, this movie it's dumb as fuck, but it is well written. I don't find myself not laughing. Like I don't want to say that it's like the like funniest movie that you'll see, but for like Sandler's later work, this is one of those movies where I was like, how is this not like more, well, I guess the incest kind of explains that, but it's like, how is this not like more like widely known? Like this is a funny movie. So there's like these little moments too. Like I said, it was a relentless movie. There's these little moments that it gets across where a lot of comedy is set up, payoff, or like, you know, set up, run the gambit of something, then payoff. It like hits like these beats of like 3, or like, you know, like set up, then shit happens, and punchline, or like, you know, set up, punchline, something. You know, it follows a formula, and like Sandler used to be really good at that, like, you know, abiding by this formula. But like all of it, like a lot of like his later movies, like the you know, Jack and Jill's the name of the twins movie, that one. Like there's these just shout out references where the joke is just that he's referencing something nostalgic. Now in this, they do the "what's up" thing, and it's supposed to be like showing like how unsophisticated Adam Sandler's character is, but the guy that he's doing it to, who is the most sophisticated person, that they're staying at his house on Cape Cod, he's like a very, you know, fancy dude, but he's kind of an asshole. He breaks the ice by going "what's up," and then the guy goes, "Oh, is that coming back?" And then everybody starts joining in going "what's up," but it's the meta-ness, like, and I hate saying it that way, but it's like the acknowledgement that this is something that shouldn't just be a shoehorned in reference. The fact that they're acknowledging it's like, this is a throwback, and then they do it later in the movie, and it actually is like funny. It like pays off later on in the movie too, because it's just random, but like at this point it's been introduced. It's not just like this completely disconnected thing that they're throwing in there, like or like product placement. Like there's some mild product placement. Like they have a like a miniature like softball or like little league sized Wrigley Field that they have at the dude's house, and everybody's like, they got like the ads and shit on that, but like it's not overwhelming, and it's like kind of neat that they actually have like the ads that were on the board, the walls and shit at Wrigley, or not Wrigley, fucking yeah, is it Wrigley? Is Wrigley Field? Am I thinking of shit? No, I don't fucking know. Whatever the fucking Boston Red Sox, fucking green monster motherfuckers. This one's going all right. I'm not doing too bad. I got like 5 minutes left. I'll keep sucking this movie's dick. I'll keep sunking on fucking Adam Sandler's dick. I also I like that this was like right on that cusp of like you weren't allowed to like say that anymore. There's literally like not only does it acknowledge like poke fun at that like there's these, it's a very real thing, like you can say it. There's an upper crust of people in this country who basically still have slaves. They have like servants that live with them, like, sitters and nannies, and it's like it's fashionable in like cities to have this in certain situations. It's like fashionable to like have someone else basically watch after your kids, but then like do the heavy lifting of your parenting, and then it's like it's not slavery, but it's kind of something a little bit, I think not the thing, but they have actual like servants in this one, and the guy Steve, I forget the actor's name, but it's Andy Samberg's boss. He keeps like making references to like how they're lucky to be in this country and like all this shit, and then you see him like fucking with them. But there's like this moment where Adam Sandler's cooking everybody pancakes, and he's cooking for the wait like the servants. That's something that's subtly it's smarter than this movie lets on, where because it happens so quick you don't even realize it. Like it's like, oh, it's silly. He's cooking. Those are servants. They're the ones that are supposed to be cooking. Ha ha ha. But like at the same time, it shows that like deep down, like even though this guy is going like Adam Sandler's character has this dynamic with Andy Samberg where like even though he's trying to do the right thing, he fucks it up. But like in this case, he's not only doing the right thing and not fucking it up, he's like doing the right thing, and it's like someone like is actually appreciating him doing the right thing, and it kind of gets fucked up by something else going on. But I just found that like that is like adding an extra layer of context and being like so hyper aware of like the nuance that his character is bringing. And like I said, this is a dumb movie. This is a raunchy comedy. I cannot stress that enough, that this is stupid. It's supposed to be like, laughing like throughout, but it's smart, and it is another like, just like element of this movie why I find it so fucking good. I really wish that this got like some kind of wider release. I wish that this was something, because if you want to turn your brain off and just giggle for 2 hours, like this is a great one. If you want to turn your brain off and get mad about things that you're strongly passionate about, then watch fucking Many Saints of Newark. I said I wasn't going to go back there, but I mean, I'm not. I had one pod where I just kind of wanted to like turn my brain off. Like I had fun with Mark on the last one. We're talking. We're going to do another one down the road. And I think for the next episode, because I think it is the 50th episode, I'm just going to do something special. Something I'll do some homework on, and give you guys a nice little taste of the old Joe life and what I enjoy watching, because I do, after all, enjoy doing these. I've been having the blast doing the Blacktooths with Jake, but I do enjoy doing this. I'm trying to do one a week, just because I am balancing it with Blacktooth. So like I might not be uploading these as frequently, but I am still doing them. They're still part of my repertoire, but I'm still uploading them on Under the Influencers page. So. Just look out for Blacktooth, and look out for one of these rolling out every now and then, and I'll have a good one for you next time. But yeah, That's My Boy. Watch That's My Boy, and then with a heavy grain of salt, watch The Many Saints of Newark. It was an entertaining movie. I'm being too harsh on it, but it's there's a lot of problems. So just judge it as you go. Thank you for listening.